Do it for yourself personally and do it for yourself for your business, and you will give yourself a raise today. Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devon Dickinson, and today I want to talk about how to give yourself a raise. And so I'm sure you're like super excited, like, great, how do I give myself a raise? Well, it's pretty easy. Avoid reoccurring fees and long-term commitments. And you say, well, Devon, how's that going to give myself a raise? And I'm going to challenge you right now. If you slow down and this weekend, you went and reviewed every single credit card statement that you have, every single bill that's being paid, you're going to find out today that there's apps that you signed up for years ago that you're still paying for monthly. Guarantee that you signed up for software that you're paying once a quarter automatically on your credit card. There's probably various insurances that you've took out months ago that you forgot to cancel, or you signed up for that, free 30-day trial membership and you're still paying on it now 3 years later. And these fees will eat you alive. Long-term commitments, contracts, signing stuff for 4 years, 5 years. This stuff will slowly deplete your bank account, both personally and professionally. So let me tell you a story. One time, I had to go back and sit in temporarily for what was supposed to be a short-term CEO stint at one of my companies. The CEO had left. The company was in some pretty rough shape. There had been some out-of-control spending. And so I came back and I said, whoa, this was crazy. Like, it was so bad, like literally they had stopped paying like the garbage bill and the garbage was piling up. It was a stressful time. But I said, listen, I'm here, and I went in, and the first month was absolutely brutal. I was getting in at like 7 a.m. and leaving at like 8 p.m. every night, maybe even later than that a lot of nights, just trying to get my handle on everything. And I said, listen, there's not a single paycheck. There's not a single bill. There's not a credit card to be paid. There will be absolutely $0. We won't pay for a submarine sandwich unless I'm the one signing the check. Nothing, not a penny leaves this company unless I sign the check. And so I meant like credit card statements, nothing. I'm like, I want an explanation for every single dollar that is leaving. And so what happened was, in the beginning, they brought me a stack of checks like this, and I would look at that check and I'd be like, okay, this is a payroll check for so-and-so. Got it. Boom. Gone. Signed. Gone. I'd look at this other one. I'd say, what is this bill for? And they'd say, oh, it's for marketing. It's for marketing software. And I'd say, okay, great. I set it aside over the marketing software thing. And I look at what other ones. Oh, this is for, the IT department needs such and such. And I'd say, okay, great. I'll set over here. And then I would organize all of these different bills into each department, what they were in. And then I would call that department in. I'd say, hey, are we still using this software? And they'd all look at each other like, I have no idea what that even is. And what happened was literally, and it was nobody's mistake it was none of their mistake, but people who were in that position 2 cycles earlier had signed up for software that they were using. They were using it at one point. It was fine. But, now that person was gone. The new people never even knew we had the software, but we're just filling out, writing checks every single month. And I asked them, I said, can we use this software? And they said, oh, you know what? Now I understand. They were using it for this. We have no need for it. I said, boom, canceled. And I would go to the whiteboard and I would write down, that was like $200, right? $200 a month. And I would go and write down $2,400. $200 times 12 months is $2,400. Boom. We just saved our company $2,400. And I would do this for each department every single month. You would have been absolutely shocked at how much we saved. I want to say after everything was said and done, we ended up we were probably wasting somewhere to the tune And this is wasting, right? This isn't even cuts. This is literally just wasted dollars. I would bet we were wasting probably around $60,000 a month. That's about $720,000 a year wasted stuff that just wasn't even being used. Now you want to talk about getting efficient and cuts, another thing, right? And there was all kinds of opportunities we could do. And then I thought, you know what? I just did all this work for myself, for the company. And I said, I know, and I hated to admit this, and you're going to hate to admit it too, but I'm like, you know what? I know that, my wife and we probably need to do the exact same thing personally. Because sure enough, I signed up for a free 30-day app of who knows what 2 years ago, and we're still paying for it, right? As a matter of fact, while I'm doing this podcast and talking, I actually just remembered that I signed up for this, college recruiting app for one of my sons. Guess what? He's already at college, and I'm certain that I'm still paying for this stupid app. Because what you need to do is you need to put something on your calendar that every 6 months or every year, you sit down with your spouse and you review every single freaking bill. And yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it's pain consuming. Yes. And here's what happens. They're very crafty, right? So a lot of these bills, what happens is they don't show up every month. So you pull out one credit card statement, you're like, oh, good, we did it. Boom, we're good. Well, guess what? What if it bills quarterly? Huh? What if it bills quarterly? You're not going to see it that month. What if it bills annually? You're not going to see it then, right? And so we have to avoid these reoccurring fees and, anything that's a long-term commitment. One of the biggest bills that I could not get us out of was a situation where they had signed up for software and they thought, oh, we're going to get this really great deal because we signed a 5-year contract. Well, they signed a 5-year contract guessing that they were going to have 150 people using this software. And they're like, well, great. We got it down from, $120 a license to $100 a license because we signed a 5-year contract for 150 people. Well, guess what? When I came in, they didn't have 150 people using this license. They had like 70. After we, kind of cleaned house and really sorted things out, ended up being like 60 people. Well, guess what? We were committed for 150 people for 5 years. And so we have to think about this. Like what happens when your company ebbs and flows, right? And so signing long-term commitments and trying to, negotiate things is great, right? But like you better darn well know that 5 years from now, remember how much changes in 5 years. 5 years from now, the number of people that are going to be using that. And that they're still going to be using it and not found something better. And that's what sticks us, right? That's where we literally just burn money. So if you want to give yourself a raise today, don't go try to work harder, right? Because the money's going out the bottom of the hole in the boat right now, right? Don't worry about that. You're going to worry about that tomorrow. But tonight, go home, get all your bills, do that exercise that I just talked about. Do it for yourself personally and do it for yourself for your business, and you will give yourself a raise today. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur. I really hope this helps. Take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button for more content.